All right, here is the beast. Just picked this thing up. It was up for about a week on Facebook Marketplace, and I'm like, that thing's kind of cool. So what makes it cool is this. Look at that beast. 500cc Honda engine in here. I've got the title for the engine as well. Make this thing street legal. Wouldn't that be sweet? But it's all here. This is a pulling tractor built by this guy right here, R&J Enterprises. Probably shouldn't call him. I don't know if he's in business anymore, but a little shout out to R&J Enterprises. This thing was built super well, used for tractor pulling, and it's not just used for tractor pulling. It's actually really fast as well. The guy said it almost goes 50 miles an hour with the setup it has right now on it. He said if you change the sprockets, this thing would be as fast as a motorcycle. So wherever a 500cc Honda goes, it's probably how fast this thing would go. But it's geared down for torque, and it still goes 50 miles an hour, which is just insane. It's been sitting since, what was it, 2016? He said last time he rode it was 2019, so supposedly it did run in 2019. He said it needs a battery, so he's missing the battery, and either a solenoid. He said something's going on with the solenoid because you have to cross these to make it run. So either something's going on with the switch up here, or he said the coils because it's not getting spark. So basically there's a no spark issue. I have not tried to start it. I have not tried to put a battery jumper pack on it. I've not tried anything to do with this thing. I paid probably a little bit too much for it. I paid $420. It was up for $5, and he kind of had a connection to it, so he didn't really want to go much lower than $5. Got him down to $420, which I thought was a decent deal considering the engineering on this thing, which is really good. I'll show you guys here in a second. It's pretty crazy. But basically, there's a Honda 500 engine in here, custom made, so it's liquid cooled as well. So it's got a radiator there. I don't know when it was made. I think it was built quite a while ago. I know he had it, I think he said from 2010 to 2016, I can't remember exactly. But the clutch is right here on it. This is the clutch. The clutch cable's a little loose, it needs to be adjusted, but you can see the clutch cable goes down here. It's gonna be kind of hard to see it. I'll have to get a flashlight, but the clutch cable goes around here and then down to right over here. And yeah, that's the clutch right here. It's got steering like normal. The RPM gauge built in right here, that works. You can see it's hooked up in there, back there. This is to turn it on, just a key, simple on. Here is the start button, so you hold that down and that's electric start. Let's see what else we got here. This is the choke, pull that, and that's the choke cable. Here are the lights, on, off, and then you have some high and low up here. He said all the lights work, and he said the horn works as well. I don't know where the horn would be mounted, but he said that worked as well. This is for the fan, on, off for the fan. And then there's a temperature gauge right here. He said that works, so it'll go high when it's too hot, and you just flick on the fan. Pretty cool. And then here's the gas pedal right here. You can see it working up there. Custom throttle on it, pretty cool. Made out of aluminum, looks like. Now what's this thing? Oh, this is the brake. So the brake is attached to, I think there's disc brakes on here. Let's see. Hard to see. Oh yeah, there's the brake setup up there. Yep, it's pushing a piston back there. Let's see if I can get a flashlight. So if we look back there, that rod's pushing a piston, and then there's the brake right there with the brake caliper on it. He said, hey, I don't think the brakes work right now, so those need to be bled. But you can see the custom, it's got a custom drive shaft that goes to the engine. Kind of hard to see everything, but it's all there. And that goes into a chain setup, and you can see the back sprocket on it's really big, and then the front one's really small. He said, so if you change that back one to a smaller one, this thing would fly. And it's got the little wheelie bars on it, and then you can put weights in the back right here. And this is for pulling, say the tractor flips, this thing can pull out, and it's basically like a quick disconnect, and it'll shut off the machine. So that's kind of nice to have too. Here's the gas tank back here. He said that's all good to go. Smells like bad gas coming out of there. LMMTPA 2015-2014. So we had this for a while. I think this one might be on YouTube somewhere. But it says Comfort Pro Insulators Incorporated. You can see the number on it is 169. Had to have the 69 in there somewhere. And then victory sign with a skull on it. You can see the skull and crossbones on it right there. So this thing came with 2 sets of tires. These are the road ones, and they came with mud ones as well. And I've got the weights for the back too. They're basically the same as these right here. But yeah, and then it's straight piped. So this thing's gonna be really, really loud. You can see the pipes just go straight down. And it says all the lights work and everything. So it's got a couple lights in the front, right up there. And then it's got some lights in the back too. So this thing is pretty intricate. It's designed really well, built really well. And it's definitely a cool machine, especially since it can go almost 50 miles an hour. And I bet you this thing can pull a ton. So he said that it could pull over 1,000 pounds. So what they do is attach a big weight to it and they see how much it can pull. But it was pulling over 1,000 pounds. That's pretty insane. So yeah, let's get right into this thing. Let's see what we can do about this no spark situation. Couple thoughts quick before we dig into it. Since the solenoid doesn't work, I have a feeling that something is triggering the electric start not to work. So it's either probably going to be this switch back here, which is the safety switch, is corroded and not working, or the on-off switch is not working, or the button right here isn't working. Typically coils don't go bad unless it overheats. So I don't know, it could have been way hot for it, but there's plenty of air flow going to the engine, and there's a radiator on it, so I don't think that's probably the problem. But you can see there's 4 different plugs going to the 2 cylinders right here. So it'll be interesting to see what the issue is, but we'll hook up a jumper cable to it, see if the lights turn on. Oh, and then the shifter's right here, so this is how you shift. You can see it's linked down here. Let's see if I can get the light. You can see the shifter goes right there onto that spring down there, right there. And then over to here. And you can see it shift. So watch when I shift here. See that? So it's really smooth actually. So custom design there as well. But we'll get into it. We'll hook up the jumper pack to it, see if it turns over. I think you have to jump the solenoid to make it turn over, but we'll see if all the lights turn on, if everything else works, and then we'll start diagnosing this thing. Hopefully we don't need to buy new coils for it, because those look like they might be hard to find. So, alright, let's jump right into it. Alright, let's try hooking up a jumper to the cable. So we've got a negative right here, a negative right here, they need to go together, and then a positive right here going to the solenoid. So let's hook up a jumper. Negative, you get in there too. Could just not have had the battery hooked up too. That would be really lucky, but I doubt that's the case. Okay. And positive wire right here. Alright, should we see what happens here? Alright, we're gonna flip on the key. See if we get any juice, anything. Hopefully we do. See if the light's going. We didn't get anything. Not getting anything. No power. That's not good. We're not getting anything. Maybe a fuse is blown. That's not good. I'm going to try some different connections and come back once we get some power going to it, because I don't think we're getting anything to the switch. Alright, so I did a couple things. I bypassed the safety switch in the back. So this black and white wire and this black wire need to be together in order to start. And when that thing is pulled, that plug in the back is pulled, the connection is lost. So together is on. So I connected those two together and then tried the jumper again. Still nothing. So I went to the solenoid and looked at this fuse, and sure enough, that fuse was blown right there. You can see the top is just completely off of it. So I think that fuse was bad. We're going to replace that and see if anything happens. Looks like a 30 amp fuse. I've got a bunch of these. Alright, brand new fuse going in. This one's not broken, as you can see. We'll see how long this lasts. 'Cause maybe I was the problem with the fuse. Not too sure. Is that even going in anything? Kinda. We'll see what happens now. Alright, we'll hook up the jumpers. We're gonna blow the fuse again right away. Probably. Oh, we have power. Woohoo! Check that out. Everything's lit up. Sweet. Look at that. All the lights work in the front. Oh baby. Let's see if it starts. Nope. Start button doesn't work. Does fan work? Fan works. Cool. See if the brake light works. All brake lights work. It's pretty awesome. So far everything looks like it's working. It's just the solenoid is not working. Don't know why that would be. Let's see, we'll push this button a couple more times. Maybe that switch is just bad. What we're going to do is try to disconnect the switch and push them together. See what happens. The fuel pump worked. You can see fuel pump through. It's still pumping. You can hear it go on and off. So carburetor probably needs to be cleaned. But yeah, so let's take a look at the solenoid next. There's a little switch. So this button connects to here. Down in there, you can see there's a yellow and red wire going to it, and then a black wire going to it. So let's see if we can get that fixed up and good to go. Alright, got the little button out for the electric start right here. This cap was just on it like this. Just came off like that. I don't think we're getting continuity between here when we hit the button. Just check here. Oh yeah, we are. Heard it for a brief second. I can kind of hear it, come on. So, when you push the button, you should hear the beep from the voltmeter. There we go. Alright, so that's working. Let's see if it's sending a signal down to here. So this is the wire it should be connected to. See the yellow and red? Let's plug that one into there. And then, yep, so we're getting a connection down to there. So that's all it's doing, is sending voltage from here to here. So this black one, we need to follow, this black wire, we need to follow down and see where that goes. Because that should be connecting to a couple different things. So this is positive going, it looks like to the coil. And there should be one going to here as well. Let's just see here. Is there continuity between here? No. Let's see. Nothing. No continuity between that. Yeah, so something, this switch should be turning on. There should be continuity between there. And there's not. So I think it's something with the switch. We'll have to follow the lead down and see where that goes. Maybe there's a fuse or something blocking it off. All right, take a look at the solenoid switch. We've got the voltmeter set up to voltage right here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Voltmeter set up there. We've got one hooked to negative, one to positive. So we've got 12 volts going to, see if I can hook this up quick. So you guys can see what's going on. So we've got 12 volts going to the one terminal right here that I'm at. And then when you click the button, you can see we're not getting 12 volts at this terminal. That's why it's not starting, but we're getting 12 volts at the green and red wire when you click the switch. So the switch is working. It's the solenoid that's not working. So we're gonna mess around with the solenoid, try to fix that, but it's the actual solenoid mechanism that's not working. So we should have spark if we cross the two terminals. It should actually, let's see, should actually go. If I can get a screwdriver in there. Should actually turn over the engine. It's not turning over the engine for some reason. Huh, that's weird. Oh, there we go. So it turns over. We're gonna check and see if it has spark next. And see if it has spark. We'll get this one out right here. Well, actually, yeah, that one's easy to access. We'll get that one out. Alright, it wasn't running too bad. A little rich, but let's see if she's got some spark here. We should be having spark. Everything's hooked up properly. Watch that spark plug. Let's see if we got some spark here. Oh yeah, we got spark. Alright, I don't know if you guys saw that, but we've got good spark, so that's awesome. I did not think we were going to have spark. See if spark plug 3 has spark. Yeah, we got spark in that one too. Alright, spark in 2. This spark plug's really hard to get at, so we're going to leave that and assume that one has spark for right now, because I'm going to take off this whole outer thing later, and then we're going to assume this one has spark too. But this one is missing the spark plug boot. You can see the boot broke off of this one, so that's not good. So I don't know if it's down there somewhere. But yeah, the boot definitely broke off of that one. So we're gonna have to order up a new boot for it. It's supposed to look like this one right here. It's missing this part. So we need to get a new one of those. Add that to the list of parts. We're gonna put some gas down the carburetors and then some gas in the tank and just see if it starts up here. Maybe it'll pop over. But I'm guessing the carburetor needs to be cleaned. Hasn't been cleaned for a while, the guy said. I think he said it was last cleaned in 2006. So I guess we'll see what happens here. Doesn't hurt to shoot some WD-40 in the cylinder before we put the spark plug back in, just to get that lubed up. A little on the plug as well. Goes in nice and easy. Alright, before we attempt to start this thing, let's see what we've got for oil. Looks like the dipstick is way down there. Let's see. Oh, that hasn't been open in a while. I don't know. There we go. Ooh, looks a little gray. Hopefully that's not water in the oil. There's a little oil in there, not a whole lot. Just the tip. Good enough for starting it though. Alright, coolant. It goes right in here. I don't think there's any coolant in it. We don't have to put any in right now. If we're only going to run it for a couple minutes, it won't get too hot. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's coolant in it. Alright, we'll take off the air box. That's not connected to anything. And let's see if the throttle works there. Got some CV carbs on it. Alright, the slide goes up. That slide goes up. Alright, let's get some gas in there and attempt to start it. Get a little gas going. Alright, we're gonna pour some gas down the carburetors. Not enough to start a fire this time, but we do have the fire extinguisher ready if we do need it. Alright, let's see what happens here. The lights turned off. Alright, I blew a fuse, so let's try this again. Oh man, it started up. That was awesome. Let's get some more gas in there. I don't know if the fuel pump's working yet. On the throttle here. Yeah, I'd say that fired up. Holy cow, thing's loud. Sounds pretty good, and that's with only the one cylinder running. Not too bad. Alright, the fuel line is right here. You can see it goes to this filter and then into right there. So let's try to get that line disconnected. Let's see if we're getting anything to come through it. Alright, let's turn this bad boy on. Let's see if it starts up. Oh yeah, it's pumping. Look at that color though. That's a little rough. There's definitely water in it too. Look at that. Holy. We'll let that pump out all the bad stuff here. Alright. Yeah. Look at all that rust that came out of there. Holy cow. Looks like there's some water separation as well going on. Not good. That's probably why it only ran for a couple seconds. It's getting a little bit clearer. Still pretty gross looking. Smells really bad. Alright, well the beast fired up for the first time. That sounded pretty good. Really happy that it fired up. I didn't think it was going to, since the guy before me said it didn't have sparks. So it wasn't the coils, it was a fuse or bypassing the switch right there. But I'm gonna go on eBay and order up a new spark plug boot. And then we'll come back to this, clean out the carburetor, get the choke unhooked, get some coolant in it, fresh oil, and continue this process. First rod coming up on this thing, probably either next video or the video after that. But yeah, definitely a cool machine. Can't wait to rip it. Stay tuned for next video, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Until next time, we are out.